My parents literally sued me to steal my house. My parents filed a lawsuit over my condo. When I asked why, my dad said, "It belongs to your sister." Like that was a normal sentence to say to your adult child. But I showed the court every deposit I'd ever made and won. Growing up, I learned unbelievably early that fairness was just not a thing my family practiced. My sister, let's call her Maya, got everything. Dance classes that were basically the price of rent, a shiny new Mazda at 16, a fully paid private university education where her biggest stress was choosing between study abroad trips. Me, I got a Metro card and a speech about building resilience. When I begged for help covering community college costs, Dad told me I'd value my education more if I worked for it. So I did. I stocked shelves at a grocery store on weekends, hauled boxes in a warehouse at night, took out loans I'm still paying off. Every cent I earned went to tuition, rent, feeding myself, keeping my ancient Civic from dying. Meanwhile, Maya posted Instagram stories from wine tasting weekends and spontaneous flights to Miami. But I kept grinding. I finished my engineering degree, got a stable job, and started saving with the intensity of someone who'd been told her entire life she didn't deserve anything good unless she earned it 5 times over. I skipped vacations. I packed lunch every single day. I wore clothes until they resembled a science experiment. 5 straight years of funneling every overtime check and bonus into one place, my house fund. Finally, I had enough. I found a small 2-bedroom condo just outside Riverton. Not fancy, but it was mine. When my offer got accepted, I called Mom sobbing. She actually sounded happy, threw a tiny celebration dinner. Maya sat in the corner swirling her overpriced wine and muttering, "Must be nice having that engineering salary." Whatever. I ignored it. Dad came to see the condo the day I closed. He walked around, expression unreadable, then said, "Smart investment, if you did it right." That was as close to praise as he ever got. 2 weeks later, a process server knocked on my door. My parents were suing me for ownership of the condo. I called my dad, hands shaking. "What is this?" His voice was ice. "That property belongs to your sister. The down payment came from inheritance money meant for her first home." I felt like I'd been shoved off a cliff. "What inheritance? Grandma split everything evenly. I never touched any of that money." "You're making this complicated," he snapped. "Maya needs that house more than you. You can just buy another one later." That just nearly killed me. I hung up and immediately printed every bank statement from the last 5 years. Every deposit was a paycheck, bonus, refund, nothing even close to inheritance. Then came court. Their lawyer painted me as some greedy, scheming daughter who stole Maya's dream home. Dad testified calmly about a family understanding. Mom cried about how Maya sacrificed so much for grad school and how unfair it was that I'd used family money. Maya sat behind them looking wounded and fragile, like I'd robbed her life savings. A couple of relatives nodded along like sheep. Then my lawyer stood up. She dropped a folder on the judge's desk so thick it could have broken a toe. 5 years of pay stubs, direct deposit logs, transfer histories, loan statements showing my mountain of student debt, every dollar accounted for. The judge leafed through the documents before looking at my parents' lawyer. "Where is your written evidence of this agreement? Any emails, messages, anything showing the defendant knew about this arrangement?" Their lawyer shuffled like he wanted to sink into the floor. "It was a verbal family understanding, Your Honor." "Implicit?" the judge repeated, deadpan. "You have nothing in writing?" Silence. The judge closed the folder with a sharp snap. "The defendant's financial records clearly show all funds were earned income. The plaintiffs have provided no evidence, written or otherwise, of their claims. This case is dismissed entirely, and the plaintiffs are barred from refiling." The gavel hit so hard it echoed. Dad went red, like purple red, realizing he'd just publicly humiliated himself and lost. Mom stared at the floor. Maya wouldn't meet my eyes. And me? I walked out of that courtroom knowing, for the first time ever, that I didn't owe these people a single thing again.